Hi everyone, my name is Hannah and my board game is called Shape Switchers. Let's go over the rules for the game. Primarily, the main goal of the game is to collect all 3 stars and have them in the player's possession. The board game has 3 total boards that players can interact with: red, green, and blue. Specifically, players must follow the red, green, and blue order to progress through the game. Therefore, players are not allowed to backtrack the boards, and this heightens the game strategy element of the game. Furthermore, players can interact with game cards when moving over card spaces, which allows players to choose when they play cards, which is discussed later on. Similarly, players can move over coin spaces and HP spaces, which can help and challenge players in a similar manner. When moving between map boards, players must always teleport to the player's spawn icon, regardless of the teleporting method, meaning that players can teleport from anywhere to a player space with the right conditions. In order to jump boards, players have 2 options. Players must have 5 HP or more, and the prerequisite star, or they can use a card to warp to another board, regardless of health or stars. Additionally, players must use the corresponding dice when playing on each board. This information is specified on the next slide specifically. At the start of every game, players can begin with 10 HP and 2 coins, where players can pick up items when moving in any direction, with the only exception being stars, as stars can only be gained moving forward, not backward. Finally, players can use coins to purchase health points, moves, or a card of any color. After a card has been used, you can add it back in its respective deck and reshuffle the cards. Now that you have an idea of the game, let's focus on some story elements. First, the player is the hero, who essentially must gather all 3 power stars in order to restore the magical power to the video game world. Without this magical power, games will fail to take place altogether, and the hero must find a new way to restore magical power to the world. Regarding the board game itself, the materials can vary from player to player, as some players prefer a pen and paper scorekeeping method, and others prefer using a physical paper cutout to keep track of items. First, all players need 3 dice, specifically the D4, D6, and D8, for each board that is labeled on screen. Next, players can illustrate the boards however they like. You can make 3 separate boards, or you can draw them all together on one big paper. Either way works perfectly fine. Now you can decide if you want to play with paper, or do some of the work digitally like me. Again, it's all preference. Lastly, be sure to find a game piece that represents your player. In my demo later, I decided to do a pink heart. To spare you more talking, I wrote out everything that you need to put in each deck on this slide. The key for the scenario-based cards is at the top and is used for situational problems so that you can easily reflect on this slide for information. You essentially want to make 3 sets of flashcards and color code them so that the decks stay in order and together as intended. Finally, coin mechanics is the last talking segment before the demo. Primarily, coins can be turned into HP, forward-backward moves, or a card draw of any color. The most important conversions you need to know are 1 coin equals 1 HP, 1 coin equals 1 forward space, 2 coins equals 1 backward space, and 2 coins equals 1 card, where the player gets to strategically choose the card color, but not the card itself. There is some additional situational information below, but for now, we are ready to hop straight into the demo. Here's the board layout. Players start at the red square, then move to the green triangle, and ideally finish at the blue circle. The dice for each board are color-coded and displayed in the upper left corner for every dice roll, and the key for each space is below. Everything should make more sense as we play, so let's get started. Like I mentioned previously, my player marker is a heart, and we must always start at the red player spawn. For the sake of the demo, I keep my player marker slightly off the space so you can read what is underneath it clearly. We are starting with 10 HP, 2 coins, and no cards. Keep in mind that the goal is to have all 3 stars at once. Time to roll the dice. Our first roll is a 2 on the red dice, so we get to move 2 spaces forward on the red board. Thankfully, we landed on our first card, which is a green card that allows us to instantly gain 3 HP. Our health total is now 13, and we can move on to the next dice roll. In this case, we rolled a 5, and we passed a -1 HP and a coin space. Therefore, we lose 1 health point and gain 1 coin. For now, I'm not going to spend any coins, especially since the game just started. This round begins with a dice roll of 6, which allows us to pass over a blue card space, a +2 HP space, and a red card space. First, we need to go in order of how we passed over the spaces, so the blue card allows us to teleport to the red board whenever we want, and we can pocket that in the meantime. Next, we can add the 2 HP to our health total, and finally draw a red card, where we lost 2 coins, and that brings our total down to 1 coin. We can roll the dice again, leaving us with 3 spaces to move. We passed a -1 HP space and landed on a coin space, so we can add these to our totals and move on to the next round. By now you get the gist of the rounds. We roll the dice and move 5 spaces. We passed over a red card and the red star, most importantly. Now that we have the red star and plenty of HP, we can move on to the green board. Whenever we move from board to board, we always start at the player spawn or the gray smiley face. We are now ready to switch dice and begin the next round. Our first dice roll allows us to move 3 spaces forward, where we passed a blue card and gained 3 HP. Our blue card unfortunately made us lose our red star, but with good strategy we can easily gain the star back towards the end of the game. Before the next round, I decided to spend 2 coins and test my luck by drawing a green card. I specifically chose this color card because the green card has a chance to draw a gain a red star card. Although this time I was not that lucky and I got a double the next card instead. We can pocket this card for now, but we will have to use it on the next applicable card. Next, I rolled a 4 and made it to another end of the triangle board, in which I passed a coin and a green card. A green card says, move forward to the next coin space, which is not able to be doubled, but we can still use it this turn. Like the instructions on the green card said, I moved to the next coin space and almost lapped the green board. I picked up a red card, then a -1 HP, the green star, a blue card, a +3 HP, and 1 coin. The red card draws lose 3 HP, which can unfortunately be doubled, so we lost 6 HP from the red card on top of the other changes. The blue card draws gain the green star, but we already have it and the stars do not stack, so the card essentially does nothing. We can now move on to the blue board now that we have sufficient HP and the green star. Note that having the red star is irrelevant for moving to the blue board, as you only need to have the star prior to the board that you wish to move to. I moved over to the player spawn on the blue board, and I am now ready to roll the dice. By this point, you can probably anticipate the moves I will make in the game, but regardless, I rolled a 2 and collected a coin. On to the next round. In the next round, I rolled a 3 and passed over a green card and a red card. The green card says skip the next card, and the red card says move back 5 spaces, where the green card thankfully allows me to skip a bad card and stay right where I am. I rolled another 3 again, and landed on a -4 HP space after passing a coin. I rolled a 4 this round, so I passed over a green card space and a +2 HP space. The green card says teleport to the blue board, so I can pocket that card in case I need it and move on. This turn, I rolled a 5, passed over a blue card space, collected the blue star, and pocketed a coin. Although I have sufficient health and a star to move between boards without a card, I will use the red board card to demonstrate moving between boards with cards anyway. First, I moved over to the red board with the card. However, I finished this round by converting my coins into HP to balance the damage the blue card did to my HP. In this game, it is important to stay well above 5 HP, so I wanted to make sure I can switch between boards when necessary. Now that I am back on the red board, I switched dice again and rolled a 4. I passed over a green card and a -1 HP space. The green card allows me to skip the next card, which can actually be good because the next card is going to be blue, which has the highest chance to lose a star. In this round, I rolled a 6, so I passed over a coin, a blue card, and a +2 HP space. Thankfully, the green card absolutely saved me from losing the green star, so I can complete the game faster and continue just like normal. This turn, I rolled a 5, passed over the red card space, and a -1 HP space. The red card forced me to lose 2 coins, but I can pass over a coin space next turn anyway. Finally, I rolled a 5, passed over the coin space, collected a red card, and gained the final star. Although the game is over, I wanted to highlight that the red card I had drawn would not allow me to pick up the star because I would be moving backwards, but I could pick up coins, cards, or HP if I really wanted to. Now that we gathered all the stars, we can restore power to the video game world and ensure that others can enjoy games just as much as we enjoyed playing Shape Switchers. Thanks for playing, and be sure to let me know your thoughts about the game.